This week on CU Sports Mag, men's basketball is looking to continue their non-conference home winning streak.
Rodney Stewart is gaining recognition amongst his teammates.
And we say goodbye from CU Sports Mag one last time. Final show of the semester right now.
Hello, welcome to this week's edition of CU Sports Mag. I'm Josh Rising.
And I'm Ron Knelbenbauer, and with Josh, men's basketball was 26-0 in their last 26 games at home against the Coors Event Center. Fresno State came to town. Could they make it 27 in a row?
Well, the Bulldogs made quite a scare against the Buffs last night. Let's go ahead and take a look at those highlights. Shannon Sharp finding Andre Roberson at the top of the key. Spot up three, swish. The Buffs here are doing a good job coming up with the ball movement. Damian Kane, seeing his first action of the season, he's working the paint and he draws the foul. He chipped in 2 points and 3 rebounds in 6 minutes. Good ball movement again by the Buffs. Carlin Brown getting the ball to Roberson in the paint. He puts up an easy 2. He posted 21 points and 10 rebounds. Good for another double-double.
Oh, in Colorado, they kept this going. Right here, Dinwiddie off the steal. He'll go coast to coast. The rebound wouldn't go, picked up by Steven Shep, and what he'll go the other way as well. Nice little finger roll. And what Fresno State played pretty well. They had 41 points in the second half. But the story of the game, well, was free throws in Colorado after an atrocious effort last week against Colorado State. They go 27 for 32 on the charity stripe. They win this one. Final score, 71-64. Austin Dufall had 3 rebounds, 13 points. Andre Roberson, not a bad effort, double-double for him. And Spencer Dinwiddie, 2 rebounds, 15 points for him.
Good game. The men's team game with Fresno State was the first 8 straight at home for the Buffs, which got us wondering, how many men's games are you planning to attend for the rest of the season? 0-3, 4-8, 9-12, or all the games? That is this week's poll question. Go to cusportsmag.com to cast your vote.
Now, after the women's team started the season 6-0, they knew the 7th win would not come easy. Idaho came to town on Sunday, and they really outplayed the Buffs for most of the contest. With under 4 minutes to go in the game, Colorado was down 58-59. However, that would be the last lead the Idaho Vandals would get. CU would go on a 10-point run to finish the game and went on to the victory 68-59. This brings the Buffs record to 7-0 this season, which is the first time that they began the year with 7 straight wins since 1994. Chucky Jeffrey, well, she had another career high of 30 points after posting a previous career high of 26 points the previous game.
Even though their last game came down to the wire, the women's basketball team made quick work of the Pioneers. The University of Denver women's basketball team came to Boulder on Thursday, and the Buffs backed up their undefeated record by winning 71-36. The game was close until the Buffs exploited Denver's weakness, and senior Julie Seabrook scored 6 consecutive points from inside the paint. Even though Jeffries didn't put up career numbers, she still made her mark by hitting a half-court buzzer beater at halftime. Jeffries ended the night with 20 points, and freshman Lexi Kressel had 13.
Coming up after the break, we'll have this week's trivia question.
And Greg O'Brien and Derek Kessinger talk men's and women's hoops in this week's Double Team. More Sports Mag coming up.
How dope was that party last night, man? No. Wait, I can't really...
Come on, Greg, you totally ruined me.
Lost service. Yeah, no, and then he shoved me, and I was like, that's not cool. And so I just rocked him, and it was tight.
It was a total dime piece, man. Took me back to my place, had a few drinks, you know what I mean.
And after all of that, she told me she had a kid. And I'm not trying to be any part of that right there. You know what I mean?
It was a crazy.
Cross country head. Cross-country head coach Mark Wetmore has been named the Pac-12 Men's Coach of the Year. Wetmore this past season helped lead the team to a third-place finish at the NCAA Championships and finished the season ranked 6th in the nation. The Buffs also placed second in the NCAA Mountain Regional Championships and won the inaugural Pac-12 Championship meet. Wetmore was not the only mention. The Buffs also had 4 men and 4 women runners make the All-Pac-12 first and second teams.
Offensive lineman Ryan Miller was named second-team All-American by the Walter Camp Football Foundation. Miller was named as one of the 4 team captains this past season. Having played over 3,300 snaps in his career, Miller allowed only 5 sacks, 9 pressures, and was only called for 10 penalties. He also set a school record for the most career games started with 47 and having started the last 37 games of his career. Miller was also part of the watch list this past season for the Outland Trophy and the Lombardi Award.
With another non-conference win, this time against Fresno State, it extends the men's basketball team's non-conference win streak to 27 games, which had us here at SportsMag wondering for this week's trivia question. When was the last time the CU men's basketball team lost a non-conference game at the Coors Event Center? Stay tuned to find out the answer later in the show.
With both teams continuing their hot play, it sounds like the perfect subject for Greg O'Brien and Derek Kessinger to discuss.
Thanks, guys. Live from the double team set here, Greg O'Brien alongside Derek Kessinger. We're going to break down a little bit of the basketball group folks here for you. Derek, we've been having a really great game, against Fresno. But from what I hear, it really shouldn't have been a great game.
No, it shouldn't. The Buffs should have run away with it. They sort of were at the beginning. They had a 20-point lead. It all sort of fell apart for them. Andre Roberson got into foul trouble. Obviously, that hurts him a little bit. But he came back in and played pretty well there. Held it at 4 fouls, and then they were able to come away with the victory, 71-64. But it was a lot closer than you mentioned. It got within 3 points there in the last couple minutes, and that's not what you want to see from this team.
No, absolutely. And then, we're talking a little bit about the team overall. I've seen some really great stuff from them this year. It's been a lot better. There's definitely been some improvement from the previous years. What are you seeing for them here?
Well, they're 5-3 right now. They've won all of their home games so far. They have a 27 home game winning streak going on right now. And they're just getting better. They have a lot of freshmen. The freshman that's impressed the most, Spencer Dinwiddie, he had 15 points in that game. He's doing better. He was the CU Athlete of the Week last week by the CU Athletic Department. Andre Roberson had 21 points in that game against Fresno State. He's averaging about 12 points a game. That's sort of going up. And Austin Dufalt's really stepped up into a scorer, also averaging around 12 points a game. Roberson on the rebounds really helping them. But obviously this is a young team, and it is just getting younger. They got a new guy last night, Damian Kane. He didn't start the season playing. He played for 6 minutes last night. He'll obviously come in a little bit more. He's 6'7". He adds a little bit of size. So you kind of want to see that going forward. Obviously, it's sort of a rebuilding year, losing the guys we lost. But you really see them going forward now and hopefully building on what's probably going to be a tough season, but they're keeping the home court theirs, and they need to continue to do that.
No, yeah, talking about the folks we lost, Alex Burke. The question I would ask is, we're looking at it from the sense of, we're entering that new conference, Pac-12. How are we going to compete against some of these teams,
Well, especially at home, we have to maintain that home field advantage, run the ball, because the altitude here, you see it in college a lot. Momentum's a big thing. If you have that sort of little bit of extra edge because the other team's a little more tired, that can help you a lot. I mean, we just have to build a young core here again. We don't have a lot of big men, but we have a lot of freshmen this year who will be able to build on.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And then kind of shifting gears here, women's basketball, they had the great win this week as well. Is it just that we're good at basketball, bad at football? Is it, what do you see here? How is it that we're doing so well on the court?
Well, I mean, the women's basketball team, they're 7-0 right now after their first 7 games. Big surprise for them. Linda Lappy's really got this team under control, even losing the all-time scorer for the Buffs, Brittany Spears. They're playing well. As you mentioned, they had a good game on Sunday. Chucky Jeffries, who's really stepped up for this team, she's averaging about 12 points a game. She's averaging 18 points a game. She had a career high with 30 points in that game. She's really leading the team, along with Brittany Wilson, who had 11 points, averaging over 10 assists. Overall, really good play from them, and a surprise overall because the women's basketball team wasn't very good last year. We're seeing that improvement. They haven't played a lot of big teams, but they're the only undefeated team in the Pac-12. Now, as talking about the Pac-12 just briefly, out of the men and the women, only one team is in the top 25, and that's the Stanford women team. So obviously, we're looking at some weaker conferences this year.
Pac-12 versus Big 12 sort of differences there, especially on the basketball side, as we can tell. What do you see for this conference overall, for the women's in particular, and then we'll kind of go wider?
Well, the women's, Stanford's obviously the team to beat. I think the Buffs are going to have a tough road ahead of them. They don't know these teams. The women, women's basketball is a little different from men. There aren't as many powerhouse schools, but Stanford is one of those schools, along with the UConns and the teams in the South like Tennessee. But the Buffs really can build something here, and I think Linda Lappy's trying to do that. She still has a young team as well, and hopefully they'll be able to build on that in the Pac-12.
No, really exciting about that stuff, especially with, Chucky Jeffries, this team here that, for a while, depending upon which side you were on, didn't really seem to have a lot of momentum. They're just building a lot of it in the Pac-12 here. How do you see them competing overall?
Well, I think they'll be right there in the middle of the pack. Do they make, the tournament? Probably not this year, but at the same time, you want to see them competing, and hopefully they can really compete in this league. And the same thing, they need to defend the home court, which is harder. Obviously, the men's team didn't start out with a big following the last few years, but it's really grown with Alec, and as we're seeing, the attendance is still pretty high. The women would really like to see that attendance rise so they have more of a home court. Obviously, women's basketball, it's a little hard to get the fans to come out to, but at the same time, if they have a good product on the court, you could really see people coming to see them play.
No, and if they keep doing these double headers, I think it'll be a really good game. Well, again, from the double team set, I'm Greg O'Brien, Derek Kessinger. We'll send it back to the desk.
Thanks, guys. Up next, Chucky Jeffrey and Ronnie Stewart pick up some hardware.
And the gorgeous Rose Heafy has our look at the weather and the ski slopes for the weekend. Stay tuned.
Hey, I'm Jeremy Bloom, former CU student, football player, Olympian, and world champion. But most importantly, I'm a forever Buff, which means I'm part of 240,000 students and alums created by the CU Boulder Alumni Association. The University of Colorado will always be something I'm very proud to be a part of. The years that I spent going to school and playing football provided me with some of the best memories of my life. So come join me in creating lifelong CU relationships and explore the Forever Buff program.
Don't be mean. Clean your machine.
This week, women's basketball superstar Chucky Jeffrey was named the Pac-12 Player of the Week. With the award, the Colorado Springs product becomes the first women's basketball player and fourth CU student athlete to be honored in the school's inaugural Pac-12 season. The junior is shooting better than 60% from the floor and over 85% from long range so far this season.
Senior running back Rodney Speedy Stewart was named by his teammates as 2011 Most Valuable Player. To cap his final season, Speedy rushed for a team-high 854 yards, becoming the first player in school history to lead the team in rushing in 4 consecutive seasons. He also got 45 receptions out of the backfield, good for 571 yards. He did this while missing out on the better part of 4 games due to a sprained ankle. Stewart finished his collegiate career with 3,598 yards rushing, 969 yards receiving, and 25 touchdowns. It's December now, but will it be looking like a winter wonderland this weekend?
Sports Mag's Rose Heafy has the forecast. Well, it looks like Rose isn't quite ready yet, but it's been beautiful weather so far. A little chilly, but hopefully it warms up this weekend.
We got a little snow out there too on the ground. Well, Rose is gonna take it to the weather set. Let's go ahead and send it to her.
Hi, thanks guys. Welcome to this week's edition of Sports Mag Weather. This is going to be the last one for the semester as we're going into finals week. And of course, Murphy's Law, the weather looks like it's been a really nice weekend here and a nice Boulder December weekend. If we take a look at today's 4-day forecast, on Friday the high is going to be 36 degrees, nice and sunny. Going to go up a little bit on Saturday to 43 degrees, and it's going to continue to go up a little bit on Sunday, and on Monday it's going to dip it back down to 37 degrees for the high. Lows are going to be in the low 20s all throughout the week, so if you're looking to go outside at the night, make sure you bring that jacket with you. But it's looking like sunny skies for the entire weekend, so if students are looking for a break to get out of Norland, be sure to go outside, enjoy a little bit of sun, sipping some hot chocolate while you're walking around campus, just to enjoy some nice sunny weather. However, if you're not looking to study at all for finals, take a look and go up to Keystone for some skiing. We have 22 runs open in Keystone, 11 lifts open as well, and the highs are going to be 34 on Saturday and 35 on Sunday. Nice sunny skies, so you can go out and shred. And also, if you're looking to go to Breckenridge, we're going to have 23 runs open and 13 lifts open, 34 on both Saturday and Sunday. Bright, sunny skies. So definitely, if you're not looking to study at all this weekend, it's going to be a great excuse to go outside and shred the pow-pow. Now, if you're looking to go to catch the Broncos game on Sunday, kickoff is at 2:05 p.m. with a high of 46 degrees in Denver. Beautiful, beautiful day, sunny skies. So a great way to kick off the holidays if you're already done with finals. Have a nice holidays, and back to the desk.
You can only watch CU Sports Mag in one 30-minute segment, but you can follow our Twitter page for all your CU Buffs information. We tweet along with the numerous fans, and we love all the interaction with the discussion about Colorado athletics. And this week, we are glad to give a shout-out to 2 of our most notable followers.
That's right, Josh. Arnie Shunson was our 900th follower, and we're glad to have him. Our other follower is none other than the former CU linebacker, B.J. Beatty. He graduated from Colorado last year, and he says that he watches every show. Thanks for the support, BJ. You can follow us at CU Sports Mag, and we'd love to hear from you.
Up next, we'll let you know what that answer is to that trivia question you've been waiting for.
And us seniors will get to say goodbye from the desk one more time. Stay tuned for some more CU Sports Mag after the break.
Mom!
What?
You can't find Ichabod.
What?
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to put up with you.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, how was your weekend? Oh, have you studied for jockey? Oh, yeah.
Pay attention. It matters.
Can you pass the salt, Dad?
Salt is to pepper as gregarious is to...
Oh, no, not more SAT questions.
In ancient Rome, Salt was a form of currency. True or false?
False.
True.
Son, can you locate sodium?
Or chloride?
There are tons of ways to help with your kids' learning. Find the really good ones on connectforkids.org.
You have 3.5 grams of salt and a 5-gram slug. What's the rate of shrivel?
In America, you are not required to offer food to the hungry or shelter to the homeless. There is no ordinance forcing you to visit the lonely. In fact, nowhere in the Constitution does it say you have to provide anything for anybody. Thank you for all you've given. Imagine what more could do.
As we do every winter, we take a look at the new faces on the CU men's and women's basketball teams with our freshman profile. Our first player is a 6'5" guard out of Woodland Hills, California, Spencer Dinwiddie. Alexis Perry has more.
Colorado men's basketball is in their first season in the Pac-12, but if you asked around campus, most students do not know the men representing their school in this new conference. In an effort to get to know the players, I met up with freshman Spencer Dinwiddie to learn more about his first season as a Buff and what kind of talent he is bringing to Colorado basketball.
Just a versatile player. Traditionally I like to pass a lot, but they need a little bit of scoring this year. And I'm tall, I can defend, and I just interchangeable. I can play 1, 2, or 3. I look up to just all of our seniors. I can't really single out one. Everybody we have on the team is pretty much multi-positional and has a diverse skill set, and that's what makes it so hard to guard. I listen to music, I pray before the game, and then I wrote some on my shoes. I'm the only thing in my way, and that's just kind of how I try to go out and play. IFI, it's like kinesiology. I went into that because I wanted to study like muscles and bones and the function of the body moving. Just because it kind of ties into basketball, and if I'm not able to accomplish my goal, then I'll be able to go into like sports medicine and still be around the game. We're definitely a program on the rise. We just beat Fresno State, of course, and Fresno State beat Utah by 30.
In the next 4 years, Buff fans will be able to watch Spencer Dinwiddie mature through this Colorado basketball program. Under the guidance of head coach Tad Boyle, with the support of his teammates, and with the school behind him, Spencer Dinwiddie will continue to develop into a powerhouse player which Pac-12 opponents will need to watch out for. Alexis Perry, CU Sports Mag.
Thanks, Alexis. Are you still thinking about that trivia question? Here it is one more time in case you forgot. When was the last time the men's basketball team lost a non-conference game at the Coors Event Center? And the answer? Well, it was December 3rd, 2008 against TCU, 62-46. And Josh, did you know Jeff Bzdelic was still the coach back then?
Really? That's quite some time.
Quite some time ago.
It's that time of the semester when we seniors are finishing up our time at CU as we say goodbye.
Let's take a look back at some of our favorite and maybe hilarious moments here at CU Sports Mag.
Well, those moments are looking pretty funny right now. We're waiting to...
I'm hilarious. I'm crying right now also, just laughing. These moments are so funny.
I'm looking forward to what we got. What kind of bloopers do you think we could have? Do you remember any ridiculous moments in your career?
I think we have that video right now, so let's go take a look at it right now.
Ron Knabenbauer. Oh my gosh, you have probably the coolest last name I've ever heard in my life. Knabenbauer.
K-N-R-O-N-E-R-B-A-N. B-E-N-B-A-U-E-R. Knabenbauer. That was terrible, I know.
With all the achievements the Buffs have had this season, one thing makes this team unique. Is no coaches.
Ron Knabenbauer, my man.
But both teams know that there's still a lot to work on before the men's first game on November 14th. Thanks, Anna. The 2011 Big 12 Indoor Track and Field Championships in Lincoln, Nebraska proved to be a tough test for both the men's CU and women's track and field squads.
Thank you for being such a great, positive force here at Sports Mag.
Oh, we have weather.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was jumping this.
I look forward to seeing what you do in the future, and best of luck.
At the conference championships hosted by Fort Lewis College. At the East Campus Research Park, Ron Knubbenbauer.
Ron, it's been a pleasure working with you, man. I've had a blast working with you for the last 2.5 years with Sports Mag.
What player do you think on this team is going to have the breakout season that you just see him in spring practice or in summer drills and you're like, man, this guy's going to be big in the fall?
I wish you luck with everything. You're an extremely hard-working guy, and you're always got your hands in everything, and it's going to be crazy, but I know you'll do good things.
Thanks for all the work you did. You've been a great producer. You've been really helpful, and good luck wherever you end up.
Greetings and welcome to the double team set from Folsom Field.
Andrew, if you were pizza, you would be pepperoni, because everyone likes it.
Obviously, we're 0-2, so not everything can be peaches.
Andrew Tomasini, what can I say?
They find some home cooking this weekend. CU will be taking on Washington State.
Tomasini, I'm going to miss you, man. I remember when we first both went to Sports Mag, and I know when we both applied to the journalism school together, and it seems like ages ago now that we've actually been together at Sports Mag. I've seen you grow through the show, and you have become a great reporter, great sports anchor.
Tyler Hansen had a decent season last year. Cody took over for him after an injury-plagued end of the season. What do you think about the future for CU football?
You probably have the best anchor hair I have ever seen in my entire life. I mean, seriously, how do you get that to look so darn good all the time?
Well, apparently Alexis, she's not ready yet for the weather, but hopefully she'll be ready soon. I think, hopefully as long as the weather's good for Parents' Weekend and everyone can get a nice little tan during the bus game, then that's a good weekend for me, right?
Well, you said you picked your mom up last night. Are you guys going out to dinner tonight or something like
No.
that?
Guys, I don't like...
Well, maybe not. Well, I think we should... There's Alexis.
So, Josh,
So we're about to head inside to the UMC to talk to several students about the action taking place in Vancouver.
Josh, words can't say what you mean to me. No, that's not going to work.
Opponent's winning record. So you want to do well, your opponents should do well, and also you want your opponents that you beat to do well as also.
Well, Sports Mag definitely appreciates all your help, Josh, and you've also been a good friend. And
championship tournament. The first big game we have.
It's been great being in front with you, even though
years, CU struggled to get a good seeding into the conference tournament, but this year Colorado finally became competitive in the Big 12, and they got the 8th seed in the conference tournament. He can play the run, and that's something that a lot of corners won't do. That really helps his stock out in the draft.
Josh, I'm gonna miss you a lot, buddy. You and me can always talk Denver sports, whether it be Broncos or Nuggets.
I know whatever you decide to do, you are definitely going to bring that excitement and that energy that you have with you all the time with it, as you are one great sports reporter, so good luck.
Well, it's been quite a trip here on Sports Mag. It's been a lot of fun. The ride, I wish could continue, but it's got to come to an end, and I won't forget these moments. Tomasini, what do you have to say, my friend?
Yeah, he's on the desk now.
Yeah.
With us.
Well, you guys did a great job today, and thank you for everyone here who helped out, and the people before us that helped out, and Steve Jones, and it was fun, so I had a good time.
I have a couple people to thank real quick. Back 4.5 years with CU Sports Mag, it's been a wonderful ride. I'd like to thank Phil Milani, Thomas Hendrick, Adam McPherson, the great Amanda Blackwell, Russell Cunningham, we love you, Kevin Rash, and of course everyone else who was here at CU Sports Mag. It's been a fun couple years, and I'm going to miss it, guys. Are you guys going to miss it?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I'm going to miss you a lot.
What was your favorite senior moment, guys?
This show has to be. It was a great show.
I don't have one in particular. It seems like every night was just a crazy night here at Sports Mag.
Well, there you go. And Tim Tebow's doing well. I know
there you
guys
go.
are psyched about Tim Tebow.
Can't be more happy with that, Well, here at Sports Mag, that's all we have the time for today. Thanks for watching.
We'll see you guys next time.